Hey everyone, Lizette and I are here to talk to you this week about our development crowdsourcing website. For some of you, you may have been following the Koha development crowdsourcing website for years. We recently redesigned and relaunched it to make it a little bit easier for people to get ideas up here and for libraries to track and get ideas about what developments are out there that they can work with other libraries to crowdsource those funds. So you can see we have three columns: proposed, in progress, and funded. Proposed would be, libraries submit an idea and say, hey, we'd love to see this. In progress means it's being worked on. And then, of course, funded means we have the funds to make this happen and it is in development. So Lizette, talk to us about how libraries can submit their Koha developments and get them up on this website.
So the easiest way is just to put a ticket in asking for a development request and just mention that you'd like to see it up on the crowdfunding site. If it's something that your library is interested in partially funding, then we can put it up with that information. Um, but yeah, just putting in a ticket and giving us as much information as you can is really helpful. If we need more information, we'll of course come back and ask. But if you know that there's a Koha bug associated with it, if it's a big complicated one, as much detail about the steps you might expect to see, if it's a new process, things like that. As much more information is always better. But if you don't, if we have questions, we'll ask you for follow-up information.
Lizette
Yeah.
is amazing doing these reference interviews to make sure we're getting all the information that we need to get that back to the development team. This is a recent one here, the granular cataloging permissions. If you're on the Koha US listserv, you might see this one bopping around. But Lizette, talk to us a little bit about kind of how we track the information here so libraries can see it.
Yeah, so we'll put up how much total it's gonna cost, estimated, and how much we've raised so far, as well as how many supporters. And if you're interested in also supporting it, you can hit the Make a Pledge button, which just sends an email to us letting us know that you're interested in it. We put information in about here's what the development would actually be. Here are any associated bugs. Usually there's just one. Sometimes if it's a bigger one, there might be a couple of related bugs. And sometimes we'll have more information into if it's really big, we might have like examples or just more information about different options we're looking at or are going to include. And if you're ever curious about a development but aren't sure if you want to fund it, you can always also email us and say, hey, I'm looking for more information. Would this cover X use case that wasn't clearly marked out? Things like that. If you just have a question about if this development would do what you would hope it would do. And that's really the information there. And what we do, we track if you are interested in funding the development. If you do that, make a pledge. We have our own tracking system where we'll keep track of how much of funding has been raised and who's raising it. And so then whenever we get to a point where we're doing billing, but also when it's ready to test before it gets pushed into Koha, we make sure that anyone who is supporting it gets a chance to test it as part of the process so that we know that we did what you paid us to do.
Yeah, yeah.
We want to make sure that that's happening.
Awesome. Well, this is great. So if you're interested in making a pledge or you want to get your idea up on the development crowdsourcing site, please let us know. We'll be sending one of these emails out once a month just to highlight all of those great ideas that y'all are submitting that are looking for some funds for crowdsourcing. Thanks, Lizette.
Bye.
Bye.